All right, so we're
Yeah,
live with Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence, man, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Man, I'm sorry to keep you waiting there. Damn, 3 minutes past the time to. I do apologize that, but we're happy to have you on. I'm gonna go ahead and pass you to my co-host Joe Habib, and we're gonna get this thing started and to make up for that screw up.
How you doing, Errol?
No problem, man.
How's it going, man? Welcome to the Boxing Voice. Let's jump right in. I want to ask you how has the transition been? You know, coming out of the Olympics and now you're in 11 fights now. How are you feeling right now in your career? Have you acclimated yourself to the pro style?
Oh, yeah, I think I had a pro style in the amateurs. Fighting in the amateurs, I had a pro style. I never fought really to the Olympic style, scoring to the computer system. And I acclimated well. I'm enjoying it. Having a great time. Fight when I want to, and I'm fighting frequently, so everything's great.
Now, how many times do you anticipate yourself fighting this year? You had a real busy 2013. Are you going to still stay on the fast track here? I know you're fighting 8-rounders now. How often can you fight a year now?
Definitely. I think at the least I'm fight 6 times this year. We're going to stay on the fast track and keep our foot on the pedal. And by next year, hopefully I'll be fighting for a world title or being talked about to be fighting for a world title.
Well, let's go back to the Olympics for a bit. I mean, you mentioned the type of scoring that they have. Do you feel as though that maybe your fights weren't scored properly, or do you just think that basically that computer system is just not a good system? And moving forward, do you think that that's something maybe they should look at and change?
Yeah, I mean, the Olympic international, it got a lot to do with politics. And I mean, and the scoring kind of bad. It doesn't favor us because they don't score a lot to the body. They don't count them points to the body and stuff. And I think if they change the paper scoring, change it back to paper scoring, we'll have a big chance to win gold medals in the Olympics. Because after they change it to computer scoring, our medal count went down like each Olympic year. So I think they should change it back to paper scoring, and we'll have a chance. But it's gonna be politics anyway, because you still have the judges and everything else. So it's always gonna be controversy with the Olympics.
I'll ask you one last question. What do you think is going to be the timetable for you? I know you're just getting going here in your pro career. What do you think the timetable is before you become a world champion? What is your goal in terms of fights? How many fights do you want to have before you get that shot at a world title?
I'd say probably sometime next year. Hopefully this time next year I'm going to get some quality opponents, some top contenders, fight some top contender guys with some names, get 10 rounds in, get a little bit of experience in. The next year, hopefully I'll be fighting for a world title.
All right, man. Thanks for the time. I appreciate it.
Hey, Errol, we had you on when you were Olympian back then, 2012. Did you think coming out of the Olympic Games that you would be one of the highly touted prospects of those games with Felix Verdejo, Oscar Valdez, and maybe Joe Diaz Jr.?
Definitely. I knew I was going to be a top prospect. I didn't know I would come out, to be this hot and be like one of the best top prospects and, being talked about a lot. But I knew I was going to come out and be a top prospect, because of my showing in the Olympics and my huge amateur background and all my titles and stuff that I won in the amateurs. I knew I was going to be, one of the top prospects.
Now, the reception that you got in Texas, I mean, how's that been? I mean, obviously, the fan base there, you had Canelo 40K, you had Broner there, you had 10, 12,000. Boxing's big there. I mean, how important is that for you to let your fans in Texas know that you're the goods?
It's very important, especially, this early in my career. It's important for me to fight in Texas, get showcased in Texas. Because this is where my fan base is, and this is, it's my hometown, it's my home state. So I can, people going to come out and see me. I'm a former Olympian, and people are already familiar with me. So me just fighting here and people getting familiar with me. So that time when I fight for a world title, a title eliminator or something, when I fight in Texas, people will come out because they know who I am. So
now,
it's very
you're
important.
One of the most highly touted prospects, but you also have a gym aura behind you. There were rumors out there that Errol Spence dropped Adrian Broner. Errol Spence gave the work to Floyd Mayweather. I mean, can you talk about those rumors?
I mean, they're just rumors just like everything else. I mean, that's what it's sparring is practice. I mean, stuff happened in sparring and practice. I mean, I'm sure it's stuff about me that people talk about, but I'm not just that big name yet. And when I become a world champion, it'll come out over some this, some that. So, it's just gym rumors. You always gonna have that in any sport.
Okay, and that's fair. I mean, I know the fans wanted to know if you gave that work, but going forward, I mean, you have Golden Boy behind you. You have Al Heyman behind you. What can we expect from Errol Spence in 2014, 2015? I mean, the fans, as far as whoever came out of the Olympic Games, Lomachenko's already fighting for a world title. Zhu Shiming's doing his thing in China. What can we expect for Errol Spence Jr.?
Oh, man, big things, especially 2014. Huge step in competition towards probably the middle of summer somewhere, or probably my next fight, huge step in competition. Early 2015, fighting for a world title, fighting for a title eliminator, something like that. So there's big things on the horizon coming soon.
And those are my questions, Errol. Thanks for that. And my man Ness is going to jump in now.
Okay.
Errol, man, thanks for giving us this interview, man. I got just a few questions for you. I wanted to ask you, how do you feel, I guess now when you hear the reporters and just people in the general public in general just basically saying that you're the best prospect to come out of that Olympic class, like not only in the Olympics but also as a pro, transitioning into a pro, you're looking the strongest, the one that people can really, bet some money behind.
That's a great praise. I mean, to be talked about like that and people, to see you like that is great, and it's showing that my hard work in the gym, it's paying off, and I just got to keep working hard. I can't really just look at that. I just got to stay humble, stay grounded, tunnel vision, just keep working hard, and just live up to what everybody's talking about. Live up to the hype.
Now, talk to us a little bit about working out in the gym and whatnot. I mean, how often do you train? Do you train when you get an opponent, or you just gym rat?
I'm a gym rat. I train 6 days a week. I stay training even when I don't have an opponent. I'm training, sparring, working out. It's not as intense as if I had an opponent, but I'm just staying busy. Stay working out, staying in shape. So when I have an opponent, I'll be already ready. And I can just turn it up a little bit more in the gym and be in that fighting shape. But I'm already in shape. I just sparred 8 rounds yesterday.
Now, coming up in the amateurs, clearly because of the headgear and things like that, you really can't assess your power. Did you feel that you were going to have the type of power that you have once you turned pro?
Yeah, in the amateurs, I got a lot of stoppages in the amateurs. I stopped a lot of people in the amateurs. Was just one-punch knockout to the body and stuff. So I knew that I had the power. So it was just an easy transition to the pros, especially with the smaller gloves and no headgear. So it made it easier to knock people out.
Now, my last question is around about what number of fights do you feel you need to have before you start getting in there with some known people in your division?
Well, I talked to my manager, whatever, and I told him I'm ready now. But at the end of the day, it's up to him. Him analyze me and see, if I'm ready or not. But I told him, I'm ready now, and hopefully my next fight it'll be, stiffer opposition, and then probably about 2 or 3 more fights. I'll be fighting somebody within the top 10, top 5, or something like that. At least in the top 10.
Now, in your division, who do you feel is the weakest link at this moment? Like, if you were able to have a perfect 2014, what person in the division would you want to end it with?
It's not really. 147 is below the weight class. Out of the top guys, I don't see any weak links. There's no weak links at 147 out of the top guys. I mean, they're all tough, they're all strong, durable, fast, have skills. So by the end of 2014 and going to 2015, I wouldn't face anybody my manager want to put in and Golden Boy want to put me in the ring with.
Well, I wasn't talking to the top guys. Like, I meant because you said you want to take it slow, and in 2015 you're looking for a title shot. Clearly, before you get a title shot, you have to have some names on your resume. So I'm saying from now until the end of 2014, how would you want to end your career? Like, which name would you want on your resume as a developmental fight, whether it be, like, let's say a Paul Spadafora, you got him to move up to 147, or a Paulie Malignaggi, if that was something that could be possible. I don't know, Thomas Delorme used to fight at 147, but what I'm saying is a name opponent where your fans can, I guess, use that name as a barometer to gauge how far along you've been.
I mean, I don't really know. I'm not too picky. I mean, anybody my manager throw at me, you know, tell me I'm a fight. It doesn't really matter. Anybody at 147. Whether it's a prospect or it's a gatekeeper or old contender or whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Well, that's definitely what we want to hear. But that's all my questions at this time. If you want to give your social media so any of these listeners that may not follow you already can do so.
My Twitter is Errol Spence Jr. My Facebook is Errol Spence Jr. And my Instagram is Errol Spence Jr. too.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Spence. And we're going to continue to follow your career, man, and wish you the very best.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem.